What's going on, guys? It's Kyle with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today is going to be something special. My first Twosun knife. A lot of people have been talking about these. I've been talking to a bunch of YouTubers, and I kind of pulled the trigger on this guy. This is the Twosun TS16 in M390. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so Twosun, Chinese company. I get it. A lot of people are not buying Chinese knives. I ordered this thing, right before all this stuff started, and it got here about a week and a half ago or something. And, a lot of people were talking about these knives. You've got a couple of good Chinese manufacturers out there. I'm a huge fan of Wee and Civivi. They make quality products. Twosun was one of those brands where I have really not heard of them. And Gary Core, EDC, Big Bore, and Big Red EDC, they've done some videos on Twosun's metal complex. And so I was like, you know what, maybe I need to check some of these out. Some of their designs are, they're okay, and they kind of caught my eye. But this one was one that really caught my eye. And, oh, man, I cannot remember. One of a commenter, and I can't remember if it was stud fishing. I can't remember. Anyway, somebody had said, hey, man, I know you were talking about Twosun knives, and this one was on eBay. And so I went to look at it, and I was like, oh, man, that is definitely the design that I'm looking for. And, I bid on it. I got this thing for $70. It's full titanium construction in M390 steel. I was a little bit worried about a Chinese manufacturer in M390, but if you've ever watched Love Them Knives, he actually sends out a lot of his knives to get the hardness testing done and the composition of the steel to make sure it is the steel that it's supposed to be. And all the videos that I've seen on his Twosun knives, they are real as far as the steel. And so super excited about this. I got this thing in hand, man, and I was impressed. I was super impressed. Look at the milling on this thing. It's a super cool looking design. Like I said, full titanium, backspacer's titanium, pocket clip is titanium. Look at that sweet looking titanium pocket clip. It is a frame lock. It has an over travel stop. I mean, it really feels premium. And, sometimes you don't get so lucky on some of the choices that you get. But I am really impressed, I have to admit. They have a couple different variations of this blade. You got one that's in D2 steel. I love M390, so I saw this, and for $70, I jumped on it. I've seen a couple of websites you were selling this thing for like right at 100, 120, and so I thought it was a great deal. You might be able to find them cheaper somewhere else, but I'm a huge fan. This reverse Tonto kind of blade with a lot of belly. It's got some milling here in these pockets. Nice swedge on the top. Just a really sweet looking little knife. And I noticed, and a lot of people have said, if I get the glare off of here, these little pockets, they look really cool. And then there's one that's a little bit deeper on each end. And a lot of people were like, man, I don't know why they did that, because it just gets crud in there. I found out that it actually is milled out for a trinium insert. So I don't know. I might try to find a trinium insert and put it in there. Something that's kind of glow in the dark. I don't really know why you'd need that, but anyway, I think it's pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit more about this knife. This knife, how is the action? This action is superb. This thing, I cannot get it to fail on the deployment. So the detent is spot on, and man, I love it. And of course, you disengage it, get it past that detent, and it just drops shut. So very drop shutty knife. So I super, I'm shaking. Super impressed with this thing. I mean, it just feels premium. I've got these particular grooves, and I don't even know what you call these little slots, speed slots or something. But I think it just looks like a great. It's just a great design. You can see the blade through there. The centering came in really good. It's favoring the show side just a hair. When I was playing with this knife when I first got it, it did start to get a little grippy or a little gritty, excuse me. And what had happened was this pivot got loose on me. So they do not put any Loctite on these pivots, which I'm okay with. And so basically all I did was just tighten down that pivot and the action came back great. So my plan is to just put a little blue Loctite on it and it should fix that problem in a hurry. So very, very stoked about that. Just a beautiful looking knife. I really, really like it. Let's do some specs on it here. The overall length is about 8.58 inches. The closed length is about 4.8 inches. Blade thickness is 3.9 millimeters, and I can't remember what that is, but you can kind of see. We'll do some comparisons in a little bit. That reverse Tonto obviously comes down. Look at that very strong point. You ain't gonna have to worry about breaking that thing off. But you know, really nice grind on it. It's around 25 thousandths behind the edge, so it's not super thin, but it cuts very, very well. It did come super sharp. Like I said, it's M390. Let's go ahead. Hit the camera. I did not get my size comparisons out here. That's what we'll do. Our regular Spyderco sandwich here. There's the Spyderco PM2, and here it is against the Spyderco Para 3. So as you can see, it is longer than the PM2, and I like larger knives. But this one's really slender. It's got a more slender blade, so it carries in the pocket really well. And that pocket clip on that side works just wonderfully. I'm really liking how much tension it gives. It's easy to get in and out of the pocket, but it doesn't move around. It's not super deep carry, so you got about this much of the knife sticking out. So, but not a big deal for me. I'm not sure if you can actually get other pocket clips. Come on, camera. Pocket clips for this. You may or may not be able to. Has this lanyard hole in the back, which I prefer this style of lanyard hole if you're going to have one instead of putting it through the knife like the PM2s and the Para 3s, even though I like the width of it. It's a lot bigger. Let's see how much this thing weighs. I told you it was really good in the pocket, and it is because it's, you know, it's not a super light knife, but 4.25 ounces, you know, I think that's pretty good. You know, whenever you're talking about the blade length on this guy. Did I even say the blade length? I don't think I did. Blade length. Oh yeah, 4.8. No, that's a closed interest. Gee whiz. Let's see. Become prepared, Kyle. Jeez, what's wrong with you? All right, so let's see what this blade length is. So that's a decent weight. You're actually getting a pretty good sized blade here. Let's see what we got. So we got a 4-inch blade. Cutting edge maybe 3 7/8. So you got a pretty good sized blade. A lot of cutting edge to do what you got to do. The ergonomics is really good. No jimping on the top, which I definitely don't mind because usually jimping doesn't do much for me anyway. But so it's not too thin to where I feel weird gripping this thing. It's it's a very thin carry. It's definitely under ½ an inch on the thickness here. The pocket clip does not create a hot spot, so it really fits in the hand well. I am so surprised. I really like this knife, and I'm so glad that those guys turned me on to this brand. Now, you know me. I'm a patriot, and I want to buy American first. But you can't deny that some of these offshore companies do a good job. This is one of them that I've only got the one knife. Civivi and We. I know they do a good job because I've handled their knives. But if this is any indication of what Twosun is all about, then I might pick up a few more. Who knows? But I do know that I really like this thing. And for the price that I paid for it, you really can't beat it with M390 steel. I just love that blade shape. I mean, if any of their designs called to me, it was this one. And whenever he called me up and said it was on eBay, I was like, okay, well, let's just give it a whirl. I think I offered $1 more. $71 what I paid for is $1 more than the last bidder, and got it for 71 bucks. So I can't really beat that. Matter of fact, on One Knife channel, I got some information, or not One Knife channel, One Knife retailer. You can see that it was selling for about 110 bucks. So, so I was happy with the price. I want to thank Stud Fishing. He's got a bunch of Twosun knives. My buddy Stud Fishing, who's always, interacting with the channel and stuff. Really great kid. And he's got some Twosun knives that he's offered to send my way. I was a little hesitant at first, but holy crap, he is right. These things are really, really well made. I am really surprised. I really didn't have the faith that a lot of these guys were talking about, just because I'd never handled it, and I was just like, I don't know. But I'm one. It's definitely a brand to look at if you're on the budget side, because you can get premium materials for a budget price. You just can't get these materials in an American-made knife, and not everybody's made of money. So, I understand, folks, that we don't really need to support China. I get it, but there are people out there that love knives, can't afford those American-made premium knives, but can't afford something like this. Because most of my budget knives, like the Best Tech, this is D2 Steel G10, beautiful knife. It's $52, but heck, for $20 more, you can get something like this, full titanium frame lock and M390. So the appeal is there, and I get it. I get it now on why people like Twosun. So you might see some more Twosuns on the channel. You might not. I did, like I said, some of the designs I wasn't crazy about, but this one really called to me, and I just think it's a sleek looking little thing. Guys, if you like this kind of stuff, hit that like button. If you like the content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There's so many channels out there. I appreciate you stopping by and checking me out. This channel is relatively new, and I really appreciate your support. Guys, it's May 2020, so we live in a crazy time. Be safe, and we will see you in the next one.